I'll spit, stomp, and punch you again. My offense is quite defensive.
That's delightful. This is what people came for. This is what they showed up to hear. That's apparently.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of my voice. My voice. That's why I quit rapping, bro.
All right, this is what you call the Gladiator and the Educator podcast. There is the Gladiator is not here, but we have gladiators with us. And gentlemen, you don't have to use your last names. You can just use your first names as I introduce you.
Code names?
Yeah. Code names. Yeah, let's do that.
I'll be mine.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be Jorel.
And I've already lost control of the podcast. Even better. I love it. I love the work. Well, that was a confusing opening. Here we go. This is the Gladiator and the Educator. We'll come back in just a sec.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop worked his life when it's complex. I found love when it's center. If I could live here forever, think it'd be for the better. I love the weather, I love the people. This is a city I met all my best friends, and I wanna thank every brick. I wanna thank every entrance to every building that I step in this city of mine.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine.
All right, so welcome to the podcast. Welcome back. This is our second ever episode of this podcast that we'll be doing twice a month. Sometimes it'll be Ernie. Sometimes it'll be the other two gentlemen who are sitting here. We have others as well in attendance who will be sitting down with us just to kind of talk about Gladiator Gym, their story, their life, their path, and what their connection is here and the life that they live here in Fort Morgan, Colorado. Just about 77 miles northeast of Denver on the plains of the Colorado state. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again because it sounds cool. All right, so let's start with one of you. Who wants to go first to talk about stuff?
I'll talk.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Well, then you're going to talk. Yeah. We're going to get our light out and we're going to press it close to your face. The interrogation begins now. Okay, and once more for the audience, your name.
I'm Michael Lee.
So, Michael, what is your Gladiator story? How did you come to be a part of this place?
Well, my son started originally. So he was doing Taekwondo here in town. He still does over there, that White Tiger. And then he wanted to, like, a little bit more, mix it up a little bit. So we put him in boxing here. And so I was coming in and picking him up. And Ernie'd always bug me to, stay and do something. And then Jorel over here. Jorel was doing it, and he's bugging me too about it, getting in here, and I just started up.
So, what was like with your son? What was the most, I guess, the best part of him becoming a part of the boxing gym? What did you see happen as he started to kind of? Because he was in the kids class, correct, or was he wrestling?
Yes, he was in the kids class.
Okay, the kids boxing class. So, what kind of did you see a change in him as time went on through that boxing? Was there kind of confidence? How did the class help him, I guess, is the best question.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a change in his attitude and his confidence and stuff. And I think that he's always been kind of like a timid kid. So I think that really helped with that. Just him expressing himself and talking to other kids and this and that. So.
And how old is he?
He's 13 now.
13. Okay. How long has he been? How long has he been in class?
He's not going right now. He's starting the MMA up again right now. So on the Wednesdays, but that was a while back. He started maybe 3 years ago.
Okay. And you see the benefit to him continuing to be a part of the Gladiator gym?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you started coming how long ago again?
Probably about a year and a half, maybe.
Okay. What has that meant for you? What has been your experience? Because I've only been here a couple months, and like there's certain people who walk in here who I'm like, okay, he's a boss, he knows what he's doing, he's a coach. Like people that carry themselves, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how he knows stuff and get the stuff from him. You're one of those guys who walks in here, I'm like, he knows stuff, he's smart, I can watch and like figure out, like people who take it seriously, like there's other guys who walk in here who, for lack of a better word, are jokers, and you're just like, okay, you're just here to look cool. Like I'm not going to try and learn from you. And that's the case in anywhere you go, mind you. I'm not going to name names because my mama taught me better than that. But what has it been like for you to come in here and your journey through the last year?
It's been good. I'd been getting healthy before this, you know, like working out and stuff, but it just didn't feel like, I mean, that's good for you, obviously,
right.
But there wasn't like an end game to it. It didn't, you know, I was riding my bike or,
right.
you know, working out, and it's just like, you feel good and stuff, and that's all good and well, but I mean, learning something, I think was a big part. I mean, just like getting educated on that, and like, and then just, I think a lot of it's just that confidence too with me. Just, it's funny because I was just like kind of, you know, going through life, and you kind of get that mentality of you like being a guy, you're tough or whatever, and then until you actually get in here and you learn stuff, and you're like, whoa, I was walking around the streets with that mentality, being
right.
so dumb, and then you get in here and it really humbles you.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just been good. It's been a very, very good experience for me.
Well, and a lot of what Ernie talked about in the first podcast was this gym is not a place for prima donnas. It's not a place for ego. You don't come in here going, oh, I'm the boss, like you can't mess with me, like I'm gonna take you down. It's like, oh, we'll take you down. And it will not be pretty, and you'll regret having walked in here, you know, walking like you're the boss of the room. I think I want to focus on the word of the humbleness of like, there is always something to learn in this gym. And it's really cool to watch a lot of the folks, even the kids, like you're saying, like your kid, 13-year-old, he's looking to move into MMA. That's insane. But that's cool, like, and again, a good kind of insane. Because it's like, this kid could learn how to compete. This kid could learn how to really focus on coordination and strength and being healthy. And my path is similar to yours. I was riding my bike. I was swimming at the Star. I was trying to get quote unquote healthy. And like, you're right. It's like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but what they tell you to do. And I can't remember how I ended up here, but someone even suggested like, hey, Ernie's a really cool dude and you should go check out the boxing gym. I'm like, all right, fine. I blame the Ewings for this one. Both of them are in the room. Both their sons and their daughter by proxy participate in classes. And I think even Siobhan said, hey, you should go check it out or come check it out one night. And I did. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Because there's an accountability. Like if you don't show up, people can be like, hey, where you at? Like, why weren't you here tonight? And when some guys will come in after they've been gone for a week and we're like, hey, welcome back. Come on in, get in. Like, where you been? We missed you. And there is that sense here of like, you need to be here. Like it's an important team and community. And I think for me, that fuels me. I don't know if that's the case for you, but it's like you walk in here and you know people.
And you get to where you don't want to miss any days.
Right.
Oh yeah.
To borrow a not great metaphor, it's a legal drug is what it is.
Yes.
Like you walk in here and you're like, I'm going to get worked out tonight. And you both can attest to this. Ernie is not a lightweight workout guy. Like his conditioning, it just about kills you.
Well, it's amazing what, like you were saying, like it's almost like a legal drug. It's amazing what it does for you. Like just like and what it can do for you. Like it's the healing that it can do for you mentally and obviously physically and stuff. It's so good for you.
Well, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to kind of add on to that. It really helps that Ernie really he sees the potential in everybody. He knows everybody has that in them, so he just really kind of helps with bring that out.
And it's not just the potential of being a boxer, but to the way Ernie uses the gym to apply to people's lives outside of here.
His philosophy is really it's knowledgeable. If you listen to kind of the way he handles things and the way he goes about himself, you can learn a thing or two.
Yeah, the legal drug part of it is you can walk in here and you pay your fee, you get access to open gyms, you get access to every single class you can get. So you can come in 5 days a week, 6 days a week, like you can rock it, and you can even get private lessons. So it is a huge benefit. Therapy was the word I was looking for. That's where I was going with that. And we talked about that with Ernie is you may not even know you need therapy until you start punching a bag, until you start kind of moving around and you tap into those, whatever you got going on, whatever's happened, you're like, oh, I didn't know I had this. And boxing is a part of that therapy of where you're able to release that stress, that anxiety. And that's huge for anybody, and especially in the middle of, at the tail end, knock on wood, of COVID, that's been a huge help for a lot of us. When this gym was shut down for like a month, it was not a fun experience for a lot of folks because they weren't able to get in the gym, they weren't able to get themselves taken care of, and so now it's like, it's really cool to see people continually show up. And to your point about it's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for everything. It is I don't want to say it's a solve-all. It's not like a medical miracle cure, but it does a lot. Like I can tell you, I've lost, because I weigh 275 COVID. It was bad. I'm down to 260 and I'm on my way down. But I walk in here going, I know I can do this. Like I know because number one, Ernie believes me, but not only that, but between like Kelly, Siobhan, and everybody who walks in here, even like I have a kid who I taught in 6th grade, and she's here and she's motivating me. She doesn't say it to me, but I see her every day when I'm here. And I'm like, all right, I'm coming here for that girl because she's here rocking it out and she's working, she's suffering, she's sweating. If she can do it, and she's like 14 years old, this 39-year-old can get on his hands and knees and he can do his push-ups and his burpees and his everything else in between that Ernie throws at us because he's evil.
Yeah.
Well, and it can be inspiring too, seeing other people like Jose. Holy crap! I can't believe how much weight he's lost.
Yeah.
I think that he said that he's down almost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And but I think he said that he lost like 30 or 40 outside of here, but he's lost a good 60 pounds in here.
That's incredible.
And so when I see that guy come in, I'm like, I got to work. I got to, bust my butt.
If he can do that much and get that far, man, I can do. And I think it's subconscious. Like, it's not like you're like, oh, like you realize it eventually, but there's that driving force of like, well, look, if Ernie, because I didn't realize this, Ernie's as old as I am. He's 39 years old. And I'm like, look, if Ernie can like do his side gigs and run this gym and bust his butt and still fight, which he did like a couple months back. He went down to a fight, was it Florida?
Yeah.
And he still does it. And I'm like, if Ernie can do that, oh God, like this 39-year-old overweight school teacher, I can get in there. I can get in the ring. I can do what I need to do. All right.
Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, if I'm 95 and I'm in the gym, there might be some medical concerns they want to be aware of, but you never know. There could be guys who do
you
it.
see some of them old cats that still
That's
know
true.
to run them hands.
That's true. That's true. And I wouldn't want to mess with them because they'd run their hands all over my face. Now we're going to shift over to your partner in not crime, because that's not what we do here. Partner in workout. I don't have a phrase. We'll edit that out.
That could have applied once.
When we were younger, that's probably pretty accurate.
We would say young and foolish in our younger days. Okay, so your name once again for the audience.
I'm Jorel Moreno.
All right, and what is your story? How did you get here?
So I started, I've always kind of been fascinated with boxing, mixed martial arts, what have you. Started karate as a kid, but it's where I learned all them sweet kicks. Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. But no, in general, just got into it, just wanting to be, really tough guy. I wanted to be that guy until I started realizing there's so much more with mixed martial arts, with boxing. There's, if you let it naturally play out, philosophy develops.
Yeah.
With all that, So I wanted to eventually compete, do all that. I did that, and I felt like I really did what I set out to do. And, really happy with that. I love developing myself. I love developing myself mentally, physically, but in general, wanted to be that guy until I started realizing that, maybe coaching is where I eventually want to end up,
Okay.
So if I can just kind of help kids, just help people, because I once had an issue with, mental, I don't want to say severe mental health issues, but just, everyone has stuff going on.
Everybody's got a story.
Absolutely. And if they just kind of channel something, if they develop a hobby, and I found boxing really helpful on that end. So not only did it help me with something I didn't think needed help, it just it played out naturally to where I'm developing to be the person I want to be. And a lot of it is Ernie. I mean, he's done so much. Like he's helped me with. I use the word philosophy a lot, but that's what some people need. They need to understand philosophy and why philosophy is important.
So you're like talking about like philosophy of your life.
Yeah, philosophy of life, because a lot of the stuff that we do with how he wants us to, he wants to see the potential in everybody, and he knows everybody has that in them, but just not just working hard in here, but just in life, like that. You take that what you do in the gym and you kind of apply it to life, and it just makes things it makes it easier for me. I mean, maybe it's not like that for everybody, but I needed that. I needed that.
Well, kind of what you're talking about, you're alluding to like a centralized philosophy or just like a centralized way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to work hard in the gym, if I'm going to work hard in the ring, if I'm going to work hard in my conditioning, man, I need to apply it to the rest of my life.
Yes.
Because if I'm working hard in here, if I'm sweating it out in here, that's awesome. That's great. But it sounds like to me like it's like, but the rest of my life is kind of slacking off too. I got to put that energy, and it may not be the same kind of like, you're punching your way through things. Obviously, that doesn't work in the real world, just so we're clear. But like taking those philosophies and saying, I got to punch through metaphorically the rest of my life, and I got to fight things. I got to get myself under control. I got to get my emotions, my feelings, my mental stuff. I got to get that figured. I got to battle that. And a lot of what happens, and kind of what you were talking about, that happens here, but then it bleeds over, kind of to borrow your phrase, it becomes your philosophy.
Yeah.
Ernie really pushes you too. I mean, it's never this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, okay, you've done this, now go to the next step, go to the next step, apply it to this part of your life. You know, if you get knocked down, you can get up, and you learn that in the gym, and then you apply it to other parts of your life, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you understand that some of the problems that we deal with in the gym or just in life, that we're just in our own way. You know,
Yeah.
if you learn how to get out of your own way and just kind of let things just play out, you know, you just you learn a thing or two about yourself.
Oh yeah, that self-discovery from this, like you go home and you're like, holy crap, I knocked out 20 burpees today.
Yeah.
And a year ago, there's no way I could.
Yeah, and then it turns into 100, and then 200.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
crazy.
And then you get into the 5-minute challenge and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. To turn the phrase, because you talked about coaching eventually. And I think that feels like that may be a goal for you as well, maybe sometime.
Yeah, I'd like
I
to
can see that.
eventually.
Yeah.
I always take like Jorel's advice and stuff, but
Yeah.
I like to watch people and observe them. I don't want to tell people what to do,
Right.
But
Right.
like I don't know. I'd like to eventually. I guess.
What is, because you were talking about your younger days and the tomfoolery and the foolish things that everyone has done in their life to a varying extent. What is something, because obviously Fort Morgan is a very different community from a lot of different places. It's not Denver, it's not Aurora, it's not the big places. It's a small town. There's maybe 15, 20,000 of us in this city, and the county's 30,000. And Fort Morgan is unique in a lot of ways. We're very industrial, agricultural. There's a lot of stuff in this town that's different. And so our kids grow up across varying different experiences. So using your kind of perspective of the life you've lived, whatever that may be, what is something you would want kids in this community to know about their philosophy of life, but also about why they need to be in here? Either of you can answer, or both.
Well, to be honest, it just, you, like when I talk about getting out of your own way, you know, this not only allows kids to see that, but Ernie's done so much for the community, and people are starting to recognize that, and people want to be a part of that, and you see that kids come in here wanting to be a part of that. So like with me wanting to coach and doing all that, because I let things play out the way they had, I naturally want to be a coach. I want to kind of be doing the same stuff that Ernie does. If I can reach a community like that, it's an awesome thing. You know, like I see what he's doing, and it makes me want to, get on that level. But for starters, a lot of it is still me finding myself. So kids, they can come in here knowing that they have such a warm environment to come to, and if kids would give it a chance, and we're starting to really see that, Ernie's got to jump on the ones and let them know, hey, we're not here to mess around. We're not here to mess around. Like, he'll tell it how it is. Like,
he's thrown a kid or two out in the last couple of months. Like, I've watched him be like, you get out, you're done. Like, go sit down. Like, we're done doing this.
Yeah.
But he does it because he knows their potential, and he knows what they can do.
I think that's the biggest thing, like you said, potential.
Yeah.
Is that kids need a hand up. Like like growing up here, sometimes you get in those ruts and stuff, and it doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. And I feel like the gym here and Ernie and everything that things can be hard, but it's a hand up. And to reach your potential, and kids discovering who they are and stuff, coming in here and just being real with themselves and stuff. I think, like I said, with the way I was going around before, with that mentality of who you think you are and this and that, the boxing breaks that down, and I think a lot of kids need to discover that. Just discover who they are. And
not just kids, but just people in general. Like people need to. I mean, everybody has their issues. Like I said earlier, like everybody has their issues, but a lot of our issues are just us in our own way. And gyms like this, and philosophies that help. Can with what we do in the gym, like what you can bring in just the gym and life. Like, you know, you really start to really see that when you come here.
Well, in the gym, it sounds like you're saying like the gym helps you process.
Yeah.
The gym helps you kind of look. It's like a puzzle. Like life is a million-piece puzzle piece, but you're able to start to really put some pieces together. Mm-hmm. You'll never truly figure out the mystery of life because, good Lord, that takes forever. But you're able to start saying, okay, this is part of who I am. Kind of what you're talking about, the philosophy. Like, I know, you know, part of, okay, this is a good part of me now. Okay, now I'm going to learn how to do this. And this is going to help me figure out this part of me and who I am and my philosophy. Yeah. And starting that process starts in a gym where, like, so like when I went to the Star, I would go to work or ride my bike. It was a solitary exercise. But here you walk in the door and I am greeted at least 3 or 4 people. Hey, Teach, how you doing? And I'm like, holy crap, this is accountability. But it's also like, I know that I need to do the work because they're here and I'm here. And this is an environment where, I mean, you look on the walls, I mean, it is clearly apparent that this is a place that is not, you know, it's not a palace, but it's a workout place. It's a place to get messy with yourself and to figure yourself out.
You got a beautiful gym here, you know, like
sometimes
we don't realize that we need something like this. Like sometimes you just need, you know, you need help from others. You need others to let you know you're doing a good job. And you know, we don't always need that, but if somebody can just tell you, hey, you're doing a good job, you know, you find that motivation and you really start to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that, you know, after a good workout in here and you go home, I always have like that almost like post-gym clarity in my head, you know, and it's like I process the stuff that I went through in the day that might have been bugging me or something, but your mind just almost kind of like just works a little bit better and you know, you sweat all that stuff out and you
naturally just clear your mind. You're just naturally clearing your mind. You're working hard. You're wanting to just be a part of a team.
Yeah. Well, and there's point like when they talk about like, boxing is the highest cardio, like best workout that you can get among any sports. Like that is like number one across the board on the list. And I think because of your point, it allows you to get that clarity because as you're punching, you're clearing out all that et cetera stuff that's dumb. Like the stupid stuff that got in the way, like getting in the way of yourself. You're punching, you're working out, you're doing the conditioning, and through that, your brain's going, okay, that stupid thing that happened today with that one dude, not important. I'm getting that out of my way.
Yes.
So by the time you get done, you walk home and you're like, okay, there are 3 things in my life I got to work on, and I know what they are, and the rest of it, it's gone because I burned it off.
It's just getting in the way. Yep.
Exactly. There's a motto for Gladiators: get out of your way and come on in and help us.
Get out of your own way.
We'll help you get out of your own way. We'll help pick you up and throw you. Metaphorically, we won't actually do that to you. That's not.
We might.
Well, it depends. Maybe on MMA night. Maybe on MMA night.
Yeah.
We're going to sell tickets. It's going to be great. I actually don't know if that actually works if we can get that clear, but we'll try it. Okay, this has been a delightful conversation that has ran 22 minutes. That's nice. Anything you wanted to close with, or any other thoughts or ideas, advice, suggestions, challenges to the world out there about why boxing, MMA, wrestling, just being a part of a gym like this is important?
I would just say you'll be surprised what you have in yourself if you just kind of let things play out naturally. You know, this gym's done wonders for me. I had no idea that I needed this. I was so lost. Like I said, I'll use the word philosophy again, but like I didn't understand that philosophy is so important with life. Like Ernie helped me. He like pretty much picked me up when I was down. Like all I wanted to do was fight if somebody made me mad. Like I just wanted to okay, my first reaction was wanting to fight somebody, you know. And then when I really learned how to fight and everything that came with that, you understand that like you don't want to fight. Right.
It's funny once you learn how to fight, you don't want to fight. It's like the weirdest thing because you think that you're the other way.
Yeah. So it just. My advice, like if you're out there and you're searching for something within yourself and you're lost, being a part of a team might just pick you up. Being a part of a team might just be the answer, you know. And you have a lot of people here that can motivate you. Our MMA program, we got Kevin Sears, man. Kevin Sears is awesome. He's a professional fighter. You know, we got Vern that comes in. That guy's amazing. Yeah. Like he comes in and he shows us drills. Yeah. And if you just practice the easy drills that he shows us, man, you Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You feel like a dang Muay Thai fighter for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I learned this drill so good. I feel like I can get into a fight.
Go home and go try and break a baseball bat.
I'm just saying, the people at this gym, they really make you know. They really help you just, help you get out of your own way.
Well, and just almost to see your path. Yeah. Like it's that idea that, when you're driving at night and you've got your like normal lights on and you can only see so far, but then you put on your brights and you can see a little bit farther. Yeah. The gym is also like, hey, turn on your brights. I'll show you a little bit farther. I'll show you a little bit more. Yeah. So you don't hit no deer. You don't, swerve into whatever. The gym is that light. We have a lot of metaphors we've assigned to the gym tonight, which is delightful. I'm sure I'll write them all down.
I kind of do. I didn't realize we do though. Do.
Well, I'm a language arts teacher, so I'm just gonna metaphor it all like crazy pants. Okay, gentlemen, thank you for sitting down to talk. I appreciate your sharing of your stories. And down the road, if you want to share more or you have stuff you want to talk about, this podcast goal is to talk about the community. It's to talk about this gym and to talk about what we can be doing in the community. Kind of what you alluded to, that kids are coming here after seeing what Ernie's doing. Maybe the next step is saying, okay, well, how do we step in and start doing things like Ernie does along with him, so that when he's not able to in like 50 years, because he'll live forever, there's a place for us to step up and to not just do what he does, but to support and bring kids in to say, hey, there's a reason why the volunteering was such a big deal last year with the COVID, why people were literally taking pictures of Ernie and being like, look at this dude, because they hadn't seen it. They hadn't felt that good volunteering in a big way in this community in a while. And maybe that's something we start thinking about how do we do that, in a couple months over the summer. How do we make it so our kids want to volunteer? When you call up a kid and say, hey, we're going down to clean something up, they're like, I'm there. I'll be there in 5. Versus, I got to play my Xbox. It's like, I'm there. This is what the gym is about. You call, I'm ready to rock. And how do we shift that perspective and that philosophy, to borrow your word? How do we start that philosophy not just in the gym, but in the rest of the community and our kids and even our adults eventually? So there's a challenge. There's a thing for next
absolutely.
Podcast. All right, we'll put on the massive to-do list that we're building. All right, well, for this segment of the podcast, my name has been Aaron.
Michael Lee.
Jorel Moreno.
And this has been this episode. And once again, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Your words are extraordinary. So looking forward to hearing this on the podcast. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Absolutely. Thank you.
This has been In the Ring with the Gladiator and the Educator. If you have questions, send the show an email at adelayedteacher@gmail.com. For more information on Gladiator Gym in Fort Morgan, search Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing on Facebook. We offer kids classes, women's classes, workout classes, professional boxing classes, MMA classes, jiu-jitsu classes, wrestling, and so much more. Thanks for listening to our program. Team Gladiator, always.